Right now, the universe is whispering a secret. A moment is approaching where unseen forces align and hidden connections begin to reveal themselves. October 19th carries a resonance that goes far beyond ordinary days. It is a subtle doorway, a threshold where timing itself seems touched by something greater, guiding events and people toward a purpose you may not yet fully grasp. Throughout history, sages and masters have taught that life is not random. Every encounter, every gesture is layered with meaning, like ripples across water, unseen yet profoundly felt. On this day, someone in your life may be moving in ways that defy expectation, guided by courage and intention that you could hardly anticipate. Their actions are more than chance, they are the quiet miracles of divine timing in motion. In this video, you will uncover the hidden signs that reveal when someone is about to take a bold, transformative step in your life. You will explore ancient Shaolin wisdom, learning how stillness and awareness can attune you to these powerful currents. You will see how mindfulness not only illuminates the intentions of others, but also sharpens your own heart, guiding you to respond with clarity, grace, and alignment. By the end, you will understand how to recognize these subtle forces, how to move with them, and how to honor the courage of those who risk everything for connection, love, or truth. This is more than a message, it is an awakening. Welcome to Shaolin Soulfire, a space where ancient mastery meets modern awareness. If you seek clarity, depth, and guidance in the mysterious movements of life, subscribe now and join us. Today, we step into the hidden rhythm of October 19th and uncover the extraordinary story quietly unfolding just for you. In the quiet spaces between breaths, life often speaks its clearest truths. Stillness is not the absence of action, but the presence of profound awareness. In Shaolin teachings, a master sits for hours, not idle but listening to the rhythm of the world, to the currents that move unseen, to the subtle stirrings within the heart. In these moments, the mind becomes a mirror, reflecting what is real and what is fleeting. When the mind is restless, intentions are clouded, and energies pass unnoticed. But when stillness is embraced, even the smallest gestures reveal their depth. A glance, a pause, a choice that seems ordinary can carry extraordinary meaning. The courage of another, the way someone prepares to step into risk for your sake, becomes visible, not in words, but in the quiet signals that ripple through presence. Consider a stream flowing over stones. Its strength is not in rushing, but in steady, mindful movement. In stillness, you attune to its course. Similarly, when your mind rests in calm awareness, you begin to sense the unseen patterns of human hearts. You notice the one who sacrifices comfort for connection, who navigates fear for love, who acts from a place beyond self-interest. These are not moments shouted from rooftops. They are whispered, waiting to be perceived by a heart that watches without judgment. Through Shaolin discipline, one learns to cultivate this presence, not for control, not for gain, but for clarity. Each pause, each breath taken with intention becomes a lens through which hidden courage can be recognized. Stillness trains the senses to read the language of energy, to discern truth from illusion, and to see those rare souls who move boldly in alignment with the divine currents surrounding them. In this stillness, the ordinary transforms, and the extraordinary quietly reveals itself. True mastery begins with the mind. Every thought, every subtle impulse carries a seed of intention. In the silence of reflection, one learns to observe these seeds, not to suppress them, but to understand their nature. Shaolin masters have long taught that the quality of our inner world shapes the reality we experience. By monitoring thought patterns and emotional responses, the mind becomes a compass, guiding each action with clarity and purpose. Awareness of intention is not judgment. It is a gentle attention, like watching the flow of a river without disturbing it. When this awareness deepens, the heart begins to perceive the intentions of others as clearly as one perceives one's own. A glance, a hesitation, a quiet act of preparation, these small movements speak louder than words. They reveal courage, devotion, and love long before they are declared. Consider the student in the Shaolin Hall, watching a master move through forms with perfect calm. The movements are deliberate, each one reflecting inner alignment. The student learns that every action originates from intention. The visible form is only the expression. Similarly, in life, the acts of those around us, especially the brave ones willing to risk for another, can be understood through the lens of intention. Awareness allows recognition of these silent commitments, of hearts moving in quiet alignment with purpose. Inner mastery is cultivated when one watches without distraction, when the mind is disciplined yet receptive. It allows the discernment of what is authentic and what is fleeting. In this space, the extraordinary gestures of love and courage become visible. They are not loud or performative. They are precise, intentional, and profound. Understanding intention in oneself and in others transforms perception, revealing the hidden currents that carry people toward acts of bravery, loyalty, and deep connection. When the mind is fully present, intention becomes the language of truth, spoken in silence and understood by those who are ready to see. Sometimes, life moves in ways that appear random, yet beneath the surface, a quiet order guides every encounter. Ancient teachings speak of hidden patterns woven through time, connecting people, events, and choices in ways that are often invisible to the untrained mind. The universe, like a master strategist, arranges circumstances that encourage growth, alignment, and awakening if one is attentive enough to notice. Mindfulness is the key to perceiving these subtle threads. When the mind is calm and the heart open, even the smallest gestures or coincidences can carry profound significance. A chance meeting, a word spoken at just the right moment, or a sudden shift in someone's actions may signal a deeper current at play. Those who move courageously in your direction, risking comfort, certainty, or security, often do so in alignment with these unseen patterns. Awareness allows recognition of their presence, long before their actions fully unfold. In the Shaolin tradition, disciples are trained to observe without attachment, to witness life as it flows. This practice cultivates a sensitivity to patterns, teaching that nothing exists in isolation. Every ripple in the river of life influences the next, and those who step boldly toward another are often guided by the same currents that shape your path. By remaining mindful, one begins to sense these convergences, understanding that courage and devotion are rarely random, they are reflections of larger, unseen harmonies. Trust arises when one surrenders to this wisdom, not passively, but with disciplined attention. To see the hidden patterns is to honor the intelligence of life itself, to recognize that each act of bravery or love is part of a larger unfolding. In this space of mindful observation, the world no longer feels chaotic. Instead, it becomes a tapestry of connection, a living reminder that courage and growth often arrive together, quietly orchestrated by forces that are wiser than the mind alone. Courage is often misunderstood as boldness without hesitation, yet true courage flows from consciousness, not impulse. In the teachings of Shaolin and the paths of personal mastery, courage is measured not by daring deeds alone, but by the alignment of action with principle and heart. It is the quiet strength that rises in the face of fear, choosing what is right over what is easy. Imagine a master standing at the edge of uncertainty. Every instinct calls for retreat, yet awareness and discipline guide the next step. This is courage, not reckless bravado, but a measured conscious choice, born of inner clarity. It is a currency of the spirit, traded in moments when the heart moves beyond comfort and convenience, guided by purpose rather than desire. Each act of bravery strengthens the soul, shaping character and revealing the depth of one's inner mastery. When someone in your life is willing to risk everything for you, their actions reflect this highest form of courage. It is not performed for recognition or reward, but because the alignment between intention, principle, and love compels them forward. Such courage speaks in silence and unfolds in gestures that may seem small yet carry immense weight. Recognizing this is a practice in itself. It requires attentiveness, patience, and discernment to perceive the depth behind each choice. In Shaolin thought, every movement of courage is a reflection of mastery over fear. The mind is calm, the heart steady, and the spirit unshaken, even when uncertainty looms. Observing such acts teaches a deeper lesson that the truest power in life is not domination, but the conscious willingness to act with integrity, even when the path is dangerous or unknown. Those who risk everything in alignment with heart and principle illuminate a rare truth that courage exercised with awareness is one of the most profound expressions of spiritual mastery. Life often moves like a mirror, reflecting not only the world around us, but the inner landscapes we carry within. Those who enter our lives are rarely random visitors. They arrive as teachers, challengers, or companions, offering subtle invitations to growth. In ancient wisdom, every encounter is seen as a reflection of the self, a chance to observe, learn, and evolve. When someone demonstrates bravery, especially in ways that touch your life deeply, it is more than an act to be admired. It is a mirror held up to your own heart, revealing both your strengths and your shadows. Their courage may illuminate areas where fear, hesitation, or doubt have held you back, quietly prompting reflection. In witnessing such acts, you are called to examine your own capacity for trust, openness, and boldness. Shaolin philosophy teaches that self-mastery begins with observation. By attentively watching the movements of others, not to compare, but to understand, you begin to see the patterns within yourself. The presence of a fearless, devoted, or selfless individual in your life becomes a guidepost, offering insight into how you might align more closely with your principles. Their actions are a living lesson, showing that growth often arrives in relational forms through the energy and choices of those who intersect with your path. This reflection is not passive. It requires discipline and awareness, the patience to see beyond surface gestures, the openness to accept lessons even when they challenge comfort, and the humility to recognize that every connection is a teacher. In this space, admiration transforms into inner evolution. Emotional maturity deepens, clarity sharpens, and self-awareness expands. Through these mirrors, life continually nudges toward awakening. Each courageous soul that touches your life offers the opportunity to rise, to act with integrity, and to align your heart with the rhythm of true growth. The reflection they provide is subtle yet profound, guiding the journey toward mastery of both self and spirit. True mastery is a dance between the mind and the heart. Discipline brings focus, clarity, and structure. It trains the mind to see without distortion and act with intention. Openness invites presence, empathy, and receptivity. It allows the heart to feel without resistance, to receive without judgment. Together, they create a balance that is neither rigid nor passive, but alive and attuned to the subtle rhythms of life. In the Shaolin tradition, a master cultivates this harmony through both rigorous practice and deep observation. The mind is trained through repetition, attention, and reflection, learning to distinguish truth from illusion. The heart is refined through meditation, compassion, and witness, learning to respond rather than react. This balance enables one to perceive the world with a clarity that is grounded and a sensitivity that is wide and embracing. When someone acts with quiet courage or profound intention, it is often a gesture that passes unnoticed by the distracted mind. But a disciplined mind paired with an open heart can sense the depth behind the action. A kind word, a selfless choice, a risk taken in alignment with principle, all carry an energy that can be received fully when one is present. Without judgment or resistance, these gestures are understood not as transactions, but as expressions of alignment, love, and purpose. Cultivating this balance also nurtures inner freedom. The mind sees clearly, the heart feels deeply, and the spirit responds with authenticity. Each interaction becomes an opportunity to practice presence, to honor the courage and devotion of others, and to integrate their example into one's own path of growth. In this way, disciplined awareness and receptive openness transform ordinary moments into lessons of profound insight, guiding the journey towards self-mastery and spiritual alignment. When discipline and openness coexist, life's subtle currents are no longer missed. They are embraced, understood, and allowed to shape both perception and action with quiet power. Within the quiet of practice, Shaolin teachings remind us that mastery is not born from light alone. every heart carries shadow, the fears, doubts, and hidden desires we often refuse to see. To deny this part of ourselves is to live half awake, blind to the fullness of life. True inner strength arises when shadow is acknowledged, observed, and integrated, transforming what was once hidden into a source of wisdom. This integration is not easy. It requires discipline to face the mind's restless tendencies and courage to confront the emotions we often avoid. Yet in this confrontation lies liberation. By understanding one's own vulnerabilities, fears, and unspoken limitations, the heart gains clarity. It becomes less reactive, more grounded, and capable of perceiving the world with honesty. Shadows are not enemies. They are teachers, quietly shaping discernment, humility, and depth of character. When the mind and heart embrace this balance of shadow and light, the acts of others take on new meaning. The courage of someone who risks everything, the quiet loyalty or boldness of love resonates more deeply because it is seen through the lens of inner understanding. One who has touched their own fear can recognize bravery without envy or doubt. One who has met their own vulnerability can feel devotion without expectation or attachment. Consider a master observing a student navigating fear in the hall of practice. The master's insight is not judgmental. It is empathetic, rooted in the knowledge that each challenge mirrors the inner landscape. Similarly, when another steps boldly into risk for you, their courage is amplified in the awareness of your own journey through shadow. The appreciation becomes profound, rooted not in surprise, but in resonance, the recognition of strength mirrored across hearts. In this way, shadow and light dance together, shaping the capacity to receive courage, loyalty, and love as sacred, living reflections of the human spirit's resilience and depth. Life speaks in whispers, in spaces between actions, in moments that often go unnoticed. The divine message is never loud. It is felt. It flows through the subtle currents of energy, timing, and intention. To perceive it requires more than observation. It requires presence, a deep anchoring in the now where the mind is quiet and the heart is attentive. Shaolin practice teaches that each breath, each step, each posture is an opportunity to cultivate awareness. When fully present, the ordinary transforms into the extraordinary. A glance exchanged, a pause in conversation, a seemingly small gesture, all can carry profound meaning. In these moments, the intentions and risks of others become visible, not through words or announcements, but through energy, alignment, and timing. Presence allows the heart to register these currents as they unfold. Consider the river flowing around stones. A distracted observer may see only water passing. A mindful observer sees the subtle eddies, the patterns beneath the surface, and the strength required for the current to navigate obstacles. Similarly, being fully present allows recognition of those who move courageously toward you, taking risks guided by principle, loyalty, or love. Their actions are often quiet, almost imperceptible, but a disciplined mind and receptive heart can sense their depth. Presence is cultivated through discipline, steadying the mind, observing without distraction, and returning attention gently whenever it wanders. It is strengthened by reflection, acknowledging the layers of meaning in each encounter, the lessons hidden within gestures, and the subtle guidance life provides. Through this practice, life reveals its sacred rhythm. Synchronicities appear, timing aligns, and acts of bravery or devotion no longer pass unnoticed. Each moment becomes a doorway, a point of connection where awareness meets action, and the divine is experienced not as a concept, but as a living, felt presence in every breath, every gesture, every heartbeat. True mastery teaches that the most profound actions arise not from desire or expectation, but from presence and awareness. To act without attachment is to move through life guided by principle, heart, and clarity, releasing the need for recognition, reward, or control. It is the practice of offering energy fully while remaining unattached to outcome. In this way, each choice becomes pure, aligned, and free. Ancient teachings, including those of Shaolin, emphasize that attachment clouds perception. When the heart clings, fear and longing distort understanding. Courageous acts from others may be misunderstood, overlooked, or met with dependency. But when awareness and openness guide response, each gesture of bravery, loyalty, or love is received as it was intended, freely and without expectation. Gratitude replaces judgment, appreciation replaces anxiety. Imagine a master teaching a student in the hall of practice. The student offers effort, focus, and commitment without clinging to praise or reward. The master observes, not demanding, not interfering, but the energy and intention behind each movement become fully realized because they are untethered. The lesson extends beyond the hall. When someone moves boldly toward you, taking risks guided by love or principle, their courage is amplified when met with a heart that receives it fully and responds in alignment. To act without attachment does not mean passivity. It is conscious participation, engaging with life, acknowledging the courage of others, and responding from clarity rather than fear. It is discipline of mind and heart, allowing gratitude to flow naturally and aligned action to arise spontaneously. In this space, interactions transform. Brave gestures are honored, lessons are absorbed, and connections deepen. Freedom, clarity, and mutual respect flourish. Life moves in harmony when each action is an offering, each response a reflection of mastery, and each heart anchored in awareness rather than expectation. October 19th arrives as a quiet reminder that life moves with unseen rhythms, weaving together divine timing, courage, and the bonds that shape our hearts. It calls us to notice the subtle currents of connection, to recognize when someone steps forward with bravery, love, or loyalty. These gestures are more than acts. They are lessons in mindfulness, awareness, and personal mastery, teaching us how to move with clarity, presence, and integrity. By staying still, observing deeply, and remaining open, we learn to perceive the extraordinary in the everyday. Each courageous act around us is an invitation to grow, to reflect, and to align our own hearts with the rhythm of life. When we cultivate awareness, we can respond with gratitude, clarity, and love, allowing these moments to guide our own evolution. Let this day be a reminder to honor the quiet strength in yourself and in others, to embrace presence over distraction, and to trust the unfolding of life's hidden patterns. As you move through your day, pause, breathe, and allow yourself to witness the courage and devotion that quietly shape your world. If this message resonates, join us on Shaolin Soulfire, where ancient wisdom meets the practice of mindful living. Subscribe to our channel, stay connected, and step into the flow of life with presence, clarity, and an open heart.